Today we're going to be talking about focusing modes. So this never happens again. Dang it. Oh, no, well. Welcome to the Visual Center. I'm Trent. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about focusing modes. So what are focusing modes? All modern cameras have various autofocus behaviors. One of these behaviors is whether or not the autofocus will continue to refocus or update while you're shooting. Or the other mode will focus once and hold that initial focus regardless of camera movement. Now hopefully that made sense, but if not, let me show you what I mean. So initially, I'm going to set my focusing mode. Now to activate my autofocus, I need to press this big shutter release button halfway down, just in case you didn't already know that. Now this first focusing mode will activate and remain locked as I hold down the shutter release button. Now no matter how much I move my camera, that focus isn't going to change. This is what it looks like through the viewfinder. See, as I recompose and move my camera, the focus doesn't change from that initial focusing spot. Now this mode is called single AF, one shot, single shot, or AFS, depending on the camera brand you're using. Now I use this mode when I'm photographing stationary subject matter, like taking a portrait of a person, or doing architectural work, or even some documentative work. Basically any subject matter that won't include much movement. Now I'm going to select the next focusing mode on my camera. This next mode will continuously update or refocus the autofocus as long as I keep the shutter release button halfway down. This is what it looks like through the viewfinder. So I get my initial focus and I move the camera, and you can see it updates continuously. Every time I move my camera, the autofocus is going to update. Now this focusing mode is called continuous AF, AI servo, or AFC, again depending on the camera brand you're using. This mode is great for subject matter which will include action or motion. I use this mode when shooting things like sports, wildlife, or an event where there will be a lot of action, like a after party or a wedding reception. Next, we have a hybrid focusing mode. Now, some cameras may not have this option. This mode is called AI Focus, Automatic AF, AFS, or AFF, depending on the camera brand you're using. Now, this mode will auto-select between the last two modes, I just demonstrated. Our cameras will automatically switch between the single and the continuous focusing mode, depending on the shooting scenario and the subject matter. This mode may be a great option if you're shooting a variety of subject matter in a variety of settings. Now, I will say that I've had this situation where this mode did not work correctly, and I found myself switching to one of the other focusing modes in order to obtain correct focus. Now, many new cameras may have additional expanded autofocus modes. These can be camera brand specific and may help in certain scenarios. So look to your owner's manual to determine what these additional expanded autofocus modes are and how best to use them. Now, last but not least, we have manual focus. This focusing mode allows us to control or refine focus by rotating a focusing ring on our lens, like this one here. And this is what it looks like through the viewfinder. I'm going to obtain focus, autofocus, and then refocus in and out with my focusing ring on my lens. Now there can be one catch when using this mode. Some lenses also have a focusing mode switch on the outside, like you see here. On some lens and camera body combinations, you may need to also select MF or manual focus internally in the camera in order to utilize manual focus. And some camera and lens combinations allow us to switch the lens to a hybrid autofocus, manual focus mode. We leave the autofocus settings on our camera as they are, and then just flip a switch on the lens. Now you can activate and use the autofocus in the camera and adjust the focus manually with the lens focusing ring. Okay, so what experiences have you had using various focusing modes? Do you prefer one over the other? Now, I would honestly love to hear your opinion, so let us know in the comments below. Now, the difficult thing to determine will be how to switch between focusing modes on your specific camera. I don't know what camera you have, and there are a lot of great options out there. So I would suggest looking in the camera's owner's manual or Googling your camera brand, the model, and the words focusing modes. Both methods should lead you to discovering how to switch focusing modes on your camera. Now, focusing modes are one of the first steps in learning to control your camera's autofocus. I'll be detailing some other additional settings when it comes to autofocusing in future videos, so be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss out. If you have any questions regarding focusing modes or need help with your camera, be sure to let us know in the comments below. We would honestly love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. That was intense. Need a break. Hold on. Okay. Let's try one more time.